Downers Grove, Illinois, 1976. In the summer of 76, I was hanging out with friends in the middle of unincorporated Downers Grove we refer to as the Hood, and sometimes hang out at the little church. A few from this hood and a few others from the areas would congregate at the church to party. One day we were all hanging out and we see Joe Pulta walking down the road with an unknown person. As they approached the group, this girl was calling people Muttley. It was there that Cousin Joe introduced us to his cousin Stacy from Phoenix, Arizona. I don't recall knowing her real name was Stephanie, though. Stacy settled in the hood pretty quickly, and all became instant friends. Our little group consisted of Marty, Jerry, Cheryl, Missy, Edie, and Debbie. We would all hang out, but primarily it was Cheryl, Marty, and Stacy, and sometimes Missy. You hold the photo booth tickets on TikTok of Stacy and Marty. They are in black and white. We literally spent all of our waking hours together when we were not at our own respective homes. Partied together, we went to a lot of parties and partied with many others. Quite a few stories there which I will keep private for podcast purposes. I witnessed your mother frying a joint in one hit. In the hood, there was the party house where John lived. Okay, he was one of the main drug dealers at that time, and Stacy was the love of his life. As Stacy settled into school, the cute, popular guys came calling as well. I could elaborate here. Chicago, Illinois, 1977. Stacy, Cheryl, Cousin Joe, and older brother Harry got tickets to the Rolling Stones concert at Soldier Field in Chicago. It was the Hot Lips Tour, 1977. I believe Jeff Beck opened. Need I say more? You have pics. Downers Grove High School, Illinois, 1977. Our school had a smoking area. There were 7 girls in Marty's locker. The reason is because her locker was the closest to the common areas, i.e., cafeteria and the smoking area. The school had arranged for a police officer to be on school grounds daily. Apparently, John's house was under surveillance, according to my mom's telephone call with the Downers Grove PD. Our high school was very similar to Fast Times at Ridgemount High. I guess we were considered part of the burnouts. Marty and I had the same English class. Mr. Toller was our teacher. There wasn't a day I don't remember him not being drunk. During class, we used to smoke joints out the back window. He wore those 1970s smock tops with turtleneck shirts, wireframe glasses. You get the pic. Stacy used to pop outside of our classroom from time to time. She would stand outside the door, peeking through the glass panel, trying to make eye contact with me and Marty. One day, Mr. Toller spotted Stacy outside the door. He flung the door open, grabbing her collar and walking her down the hall. We could hear her saying, "Mr. Toller, baby, calm down, calm down." I am still cracking up as I write this. It was so funny. He did that a few times, not just once. Stacy, Marty, Missy, and Cheryl all had ceramics together. We were thrilled that we shared a table. Stacy and Missy were the talented ones. I guess we were wasted, so Stacy and Missy made all of our pots. By the end of class and during finals, we were separated into 4 different tables. Stacy lived with the Pulta family in the hood. Harry and Lillian, sons Harry and Joe. Lillian and your grandmother B were sisters. Stacy would refer to her aunt as Lily Pad and refer to her uncle as Uncle Baby. Before Stacy could ever go out, she would tell me she couldn't go out until she picked the weeds. She would say it in a voice that cracked me up. That happened all the time. Stacy only lived in Downers Grove for a year. In that year, she became one of my best friends. We bonded pretty quickly. Underneath the first impression, I found a passionate, gentle, kind soul who just wanted to be loved like the rest of us. I do not remember having a conversation about why she was living in Illinois. The only thing I ever remembered overhearing was that she was having issues with her family. The pics I sent you was taking Stacy to the Midway Airport to return to Phoenix. It's the pic of me wearing the loop shirt, a big rock station during that time. I believe there is a blonde in the background of one of those, which is Debbie, mentioned above. I never laughed so hard as I did with your mom and these girls. We were the quintessential 70s chicks for sure. Phoenix, Arizona, 1977 or 78? Before your mom left for Phoenix, she asked me to come and visit her, and so I did. I was working at Walgreens at a dental office at the time, so off to Phoenix I go. Unfortunately, there was no pics from the Kansas concert. We all went to the Coliseum 8th Row Center. I know it was me, Stacy, Wendy, Wendy's boyfriend, I think Lance, and maybe Swift was there. Can't remember entirely. After a 1-week stay, Stacy asked if I could stay another week, so I did. We came up with a story to tell the dental office that I was asked to stand up at her mother's wedding. Needless to say, I lost that job. I truly did not care. Staying another week with Stacy was the route I was most happy about, and so the party continued at 2917 West Windrose. It was during my visit that I met the family. Mesa, Arizona. Tubing down the river. You have all the pics. Need I say more? LOL. After a few years, Stacy traveled to Downers Grove with you. I believe you were around 5 years old. By that time, Aunt Lillian and Uncle Harry had moved to a different neighborhood. It was there when I met you in person. You were only in town for a weekend. Since moving to Florida in 1985, somehow your mom and I had reconnected. It was through the years that she would call me late at night. I do remember she was pretty much wasted. I was in Hurricane Andrew in 1992, so in June of 1993, I moved back to the Midwest. I was temporarily living with my mom in Indiana. Just a few weeks later, I received a call from Aunt Wendy, hysterically crying over the phone that your mom was gone. I remember falling back into the chair, just shocked. Stacy was a very warm, loving, compassionate, and heartfelt person. I always felt that from her, having a sense of humor to boot. I know how much she loved you, no matter what was going on with her. We had lost communication during the time she met Russell and the birth of Christina. I miss your mom very much. Even though we did not have a very long time on this earth, I know I will see her again. I think of her often and can't wait to tell you how much you look like her. Your laughs and mannerisms are the same. When I think of her, write about her, I am always left with a smile and a laugh. She was truly contagious. When I hear her say, "Cheryl, baby," those thoughts always make me smile, and I know she is smiling upon me. She was truly one of my best friends for sure. Sincerely, Cheryl Mendel.